What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Fit and Focus podcast. I am your coach, Forrest the trainer, but today is another special episode of the Fit and Focus podcast. Today, I am introducing Lex, the assistant coach. She is going to take over of this podcast, and I'm going to give her the floor. Go ahead, Lex.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lex, aka Alexis, but I go by Lex for short. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Alexis. I am the assistant coach, and I haven't met very many of you guys yet, so we are going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with a little brief introduction, and then we're going to get into the topic that we are talking about. So, my name is Lex. I'm a physical therapist assistant and certified personal trainer, as many of you know. Basically, my day job is just working with people with injuries, and then obviously I do personal training on the side. So, that is a little bit about me and what I do. I'm going to give you a little bit more background in my fitness journey, and then we'll get into the topic. So basically I grew up playing sports my entire life, and that was just something that I enjoyed and, worked really hard for. My goal by the end of it was to play sports in college, but that didn't really work out, and that's okay. But once I graduated high school, I had nobody telling me what to do. I didn't have the guidance. I didn't have coaching. So I was like, well, I'll just be lazy and not do anything for a couple years, since I worked so hard throughout high school, and, now I can relax. So after that, obviously, I missed sports, I missed competition, and I missed just looking and feeling the way that I do. I didn't like the way my body looked. I was always an athletic build, but obviously when you're not doing anything but eating, chips and sweets, then your body changes, right? As many of us know. So obviously, started lacking confidence, started just not loving the skin that I was in. So COVID came around, and I was like, all right, we are going to dial in. We are going to get this fitness journey on track, and we are just going to get going. So that is kind of where my fitness journey started. Of course, I kind of stepped in and then kind of came out and was just kind of inconsistent for a little bit. But ultimately made it to where I started, and then still going on. So total, I've been working out and lifting weights over 4 years, with a little bit of running in the mix just recently. But yeah, so that's a little bit about me and my story. But I think I'm going to talk about confidence in specific, because that is something that I struggled with, and I'm sure a lot of people struggle with in the beginning. So we're going to jump right into it. So confidence, as I learned, is not something that comes quickly. It takes time. You have to learn how to be an expert. And a lot of times as a beginner, you have no idea what you're doing. For me, it was super intimidating to walk into the gym that I was working out at. I had two options to work out at. One was a Planet Fitness, which was where I was working out at for a very long time. And then two, it was a gym that's kind of geared more towards powerlifting and bodybuilding. And to me, I was like, there is no way that I can walk in there. There's just no way. I am not qualified to be in that gym. And that's literally how I thought. I was like, nope, I will not be working out there. But as I started working out more, Planet Fitness just wasn't cutting it for me. If you work out at Planet Fitness, props to you. It's a good gym, but it just wasn't working out for me. So I was like, let me go try this other gym. So I got into that gym, and I felt scared in the beginning. I didn't feel, confident, but I did it. And that's how you just build confidence. You know what I mean? So it's something that you have to do repetitively, a certain task, a certain activity that you do repetitively to become an expert. And that's what I learned. So obviously, like I said, it's not going to be 100% when you're first starting out, right? It takes time to build that confidence. So my advice to anybody that feels intimidated to walk into the gym, or I know many of you have been lifting for a little while, if it still feels intimidating, just know everybody's not watching you, because that's what I thought. I felt like as soon as I walked in the gym, all eyes were on me, and that was it. I feel like everybody was there staring at me, when that's just not the case. Like I said, that gym that I went to was full of powerlifters, bodybuilders, and all the above. They're only concerned with looking at their reflection in the mirror. And if you've ever been to a gym like that, then that's just how it is. So you don't need to worry about other people. Just go in there and do what you do, and be consistent and get your results, because that is the way you build results and that is the way you get consistent. Like I said, I feel like a lot of it too is becoming an expert and being, feeling comfortable with being a beginner, because although I had previous, experience in the fitness world in regards to sports, I was only training for those specific sports. We would work out maybe once a week in the weight room when we had our little conditioning day. But other than that, it was just the main lift: squat, bench, incline, and then I think we did power clean, which is super weird, but those were the 4 main things. So that was the extent of my workout experience. So whenever I started that, I was just a beginner and basically was just going off of everything that I saw online. And like I said, in the beginning of COVID, that was prime time for TikTok. So when I was like searching workouts to do on TikTok, I was just doing them. And I was kind of changing workouts and doing different things here and there, trying to see what worked out for me, and ultimately found a good routine and ultimately stick to it. So like I said, being an expert takes time. Getting to where you're consistent takes time. And you just have to learn and be patient with yourself. You're not going to feel 100% right away, but if you keep showing up and keep doing better and trying to be 1% better than you were each day, or 1% better than you were the previous day before, then that counts for something. So just keep going, stay consistent, and just keep showing up for yourself. All right. I think that is all that I have for you guys.
Lex, if you would like to tell everyone, I know we kind of went over it in the team podcast that we did together at the house, but how did you, me, Andrew, and Spencer kind of get together when it came to this? Because I've been like twisting your arm for a little while when it came to jumping in this. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't even know how many times you have asked me to help assist you in coaching. I don't know. I probably couldn't put it on 2 hands, honestly.
You're gonna need your feet and Andrew's feet.
Yeah, and his hands, and probably you and Spencer's hands, and everybody in this chat's hands. But yeah, I feel like just in general, confidence is something that I've always struggled with. I was not very social growing up. I was just very much in my shell and talking to people, and I don't know, just speaking to people, and public speaking, which I'm doing right now, is just like so nerve-wracking for me. So I think when it comes to that aspect and just dealing with all different types of personalities in general, like that was scary in the beginning, obviously. But my job has really helped me like blossom through that. Obviously, I speak to different people every day from like age 75 to like 13, and it's just all from like boy troubles in the 13-year-olds to like husband troubles in the 75-year-olds. So I feel like a lot of it, like I said, is just building confidence over time, and the more you do something, the better you get at it, and you just have to learn how to become an expert and embrace being a beginner. So yeah, when I would always see Forrest in the gym, and he's like, "Hey, just so you know, I'm asking you again, when are you gonna do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, stop, I'm not ready. I have too much going on. It's not gonna happen." Just making excuses. And I think a lot of people that are first starting out in their fitness journey make excuses when it comes to, "Oh, I'll start in the new year." So props to everyone that started before the new year, because you're already ahead of those people. But yeah, putting off their goals and their fitness journey for the new year, or saying I'll start next Monday, and then next Monday turns into 4 months from now and they've gained an extra 30 pounds and they're like, "Well, here I am." So I think a lot of it is just trusting that I can do it, because I know that I can do it. And that is what you guys should do too in your fitness journeys, because you can do it, and you have a great team supporting you, and you have, all the resources you need. You just have to put in the work to do it.
Amen for that. And to kind of piggyback off of that, Lex, like you're saying and proving, being a testimony when it comes to this, being a beginner, when did that become a bad thing? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's only a bad thing when a beginner jumps in on the Olympics. or jumps in on a world
Yeah.
title fight. That would be the only time being a beginner would be like a problem. It would be like, nah, you're not supposed to be here, but here's the deal. When you're the hero in your own story, there's the origin story to that hero story. Like, you just gotta go through all this stuff. Like, you gotta be Clark Kent before you can be Superman. You gotta be Diana before you can be Wonder Woman. And all of us as babies had to learn how to crawl before we could walk and before we can run and do all that stuff. You had to have belly time before you can ever learn how to crawl. Like, all this other stuff. Like, I love the message that Lex is pushing out. And the one thing I'm going to do, because so many people were not able to make the podcast, I'm thankful to Tracy, to Katie, to Storm that came in. So the people that are here, thank you. Y'all are exempt from the homework. If y'all would like to put your biggest takeaway in the general group chat of the Discord, I would love to see it. But the homework for anyone that's watching the replay, and I'm going to be messaging everyone this, I want y'all to write y'all biggest takeaway. And the answer to the question is that we're going to put, I'm going to say, what was the main message that Lex tried to portray? And the main message of that is confidence takes time and be okay with being a beginner. Would you validate that, Lex?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so whenever I ask the people that claim that they're going to watch the replay, I'm going to ask them, okay, what was the message that Lex was giving across? And the answer is right here. This is your open book test for your homework, is be okay with being a beginner and confidence takes time. So again, Lex, I want to thank you for jumping in on this podcast. Lex did an amazing job. Everyone hype her up for her first time doing a podcast.
Aside from the Wi-Fi issues, but we're good.
Yeah, technical difficulties, they're going to happen. We're going to get better setups and everything moving forward, and for everyone to be able to have a good podcast no matter what situations we're in, because my Wi-Fi was messing up today too whenever I was on a call with Andrew. So it's not just you, I promise. But again, thank you everyone for coming back to an episode of the I'm going to have to say that again. Damn it. See, at least technology was messing up for you. I'm the one actually messing up. Thank you for everyone coming back to the episode of the Fit and Focus podcast and your host, Lex, today. So see y'all next week, and we will be dropping some more value for y'all then. It is my turn next time, so talk to y'all later. Deuces.